Hi there, viewers and gamers alike out there, and welcome back to a part 2 of a living tribute to Billy Kametz, and this is Fire Emblem Three Houses, available on the Nintendo Switch only. Because Fire Emblem is Nintendo exclusive only, nothing else. Co-developed by Koei Tecmo Games, y'all, so right here, created back in 2019, and so the support conversations and all that. So hearing the voice of Billy Kametz is quite amazing when his voice is Ferdinand von Eyre. So yeah, I get the feeling that there's more to it than what he does best. So why not he does a little bit of a conversation with I get the feeling, why not he go talk with, let's say, Marianne? So, during that time, part 1, White Clouds, the voice actress who voices Marianne is none other than, if I pronounce this voice actress name correctly, and I know starts with the letter X, and her name is, forgive me if I say this wrong, it's between, with Billy Kametz on that supporting conversation on that recording, and Xanthe Hune. Forgive me if I pronounce that wrong, because I can't get it right. Nobody's perfect, y'all. Xanthe Hune. It's X, capital Xanth. Oh my gosh. EHYUN. So I'm sorry if I got her first and or last name wrong, but I'm sorry, okay? So here you go, man. She's also from, Sailor Moon Crystal, if you want to notice, and the original of the Viz dub voice acting. There you have it. Not a secret if I know this. So here you go. Part 1, Conversation C. So this is a little interesting from what it started off with. Of course, this is how it gets interesting.
Ah, Marianne. Praying to the goddess?
Yes, I am.
Excellent. So persistent in your devotion. I quite admire that about you.
Oh, no. It's not like that.
No need for false modesty. I hardly know anyone with more piety.
I need to be going.
Wait a moment.
Oh, yes? Did you need something?
I have a suggestion. I have been meaning to tell you about it for a while. Have you ever considered projecting more confidence? Your every word is laden with pessimism and devoid of enthusiasm. To gain the trust of commoners, you must appear self-assured at all times.
I have no need to earn the trust of the common people as a noble. All I want is to live a quiet life and to not be a bother to anyone. I dare not hope for anything beyond that.
But you're the only daughter of the esteemed Margrave Edmund. Regardless of what you hope for, you must concede that you have inherited certain responsibilities by virtue of your birth.
If that's the case, then I don't care to be a responsible person. Farewell.
One would think she does not wish to be a noble.
So, that isn't a conversation like it's when he says like, "Hey, I didn't know you're doing so well, being praying, doing this and that," and then she kind of, how do I say, try to divert the. Divert the, not objective, well, actually, yeah, more like divert this topic and tries to move things along. So in other words, I mean, he was not trying to push her buttons, because when you voice is Ferdinand von Eyre, but it's like, I'm not trying to do anything wrong. I'm just saying you're doing great on your part, is like what he's doing, though. So, part 2.
enjoying this lovely day, Dorte? Everyone seems to be in such good spirits.
Marianne, do you have a moment?
Oh, Ferdinand. What do you need?
I have been thinking about what you said.
I didn't mean to upset you. You should just ignore me and...
You misunderstand. It is not that you upset me. Honestly, you mystify me. You are a noble, and yet you do not wish to be one. Is that not so? I did not expect to hear that from the daughter of Margrave Edmund.
But I'm not actually his daughter. He's a distant relative. We share very little of the same blood.
But still, you come from a noble lineage, do you not?
Oh, no. I'm just a minor noble from the countryside.
Minor though it may be, you were born into a noble family, which means you are a noble too. We did not choose to become nobles. We were born into the nobility.
I understand, but that's why I said I don't care to be responsible. I had no say in the matter.
Marianne,
My parents and I have suffered because of this bloodline and crest. Even so, I am prepared to do what I must, as the daughter of a noble family. But to be told that's still not enough, I just...
I see. I will not pretend to understand, but you should try to calm down a bit. Certainly, things did not turn out the way you had hoped, but the conditions are such that...
The conditions? Those will never change. There's nothing to do but give up. Please just leave. Ignore me.
There will be no convincing you. Very well. I will go.
Oh, Goddess. Why did you curse me with such suffering?
Although that conversation went really well, he did, as a matter of fact, did not give up, but understands what Marianne is going through. However, he did want to leave that topic alone before going even deeper into any further obligations. However, things, if only things would come up just a little bit like further into the light at the end of the tunnel. So, as it continues on the conversation, support B.
Marianne, are you not going to pray?
I finished. What is it?
I just wanted to apologize.
It's fine, Ferdinand. You did nothing wrong.
Last time we spoke, I did not quite finish saying what I wanted to say. You say I did nothing wrong, so perhaps you will hear me out this time?
Very well. What is it?
Rather than mourning the way things are, is it not better to accept reality and move forward from there?
Accept and move forward?
Precisely. You curse your heritage and reject your present situation. That makes you gloomy, even despairing. As long as you are held back by that way of thinking, nothing is ever going to change.
What about you? Do you really believe that you accept whatever comes in life?
I do. Come what may, I will never falter.
How?
Well, each person is born with a purpose. We must fulfill that purpose, no matter our circumstances. It imbues our lives with meaning and direction. That is what I believe, anyway. Everyone has something they are meant to accomplish. That is true for nobles, commoners, even bandits.
I see. So that's what you believe. Do you really think it's possible that someone like me has a purpose to fulfill?
Yes, of course.
Oh. I'll give this some serious thought. Thank you, Ferdinand. Your words have deeply moved me.
Is that so? How wonderful. I will pray that you find the answers you seek.
As you can see on that conversation, there's always light at the end of the tunnel. So he took a So this conversation took a little step forward when he did his voice acting between himself and voice actress Xanthe Hune. I'm like I said, I'm sorry if I try to get this, and don't blame this on me if I get that name wrong. So here we go. This is the last one from during that conversation with supporting conversation A.
Delicious.
Marianne, may I join you?
Yes, Ferdinand, of course. Is something wrong?
I am sorry, but, you seem very different compared to how you were before.
That may be true.
Right there, you're smiling. I do not think I have ever seen you smile.
Please, you're making me blush.
I do not mean to embarrass you. I am just saying you seem to have truly changed.
Well, I have you to thank for that. In truth, I spent a lot of time thinking about what you said. It meant so much when you told me that everyone has a purpose to fulfill, even me.
I am so glad to hear you say that, Marianne. I wonder, did you find a purpose for yourself?
No, not yet. But I've been much happier since I started thinking about it more. I remembered a time back when I was working at the animal clinic. The rest of the staff was so thankful for the work I had done. Even in something as simple as looking after animals, I was able to make myself useful to others. Thinking about it made me realize that anyone can make other people happy, even someone like me.
It sounds to me like you have already found your answer.
What do you mean?
Making people happy. If you ask me, that is a truly worthwhile purpose.
You may be right. I just remembered. I wanted to ask about your food.
Yes? What about it?
Today was my turn to prepare the meal. How is it?
Oh, it is delicious. The flavor and the texture are superb, so you are certainly making me happy.
I'm glad you like it.
I hope you will learn to like yourself. For what it is worth, I like you.
Oh?
Maybe, if you have the time, you can cook something for me again? For me alone, I mean.
Of course. It would be my pleasure.
A great, interesting conversation from what is worth to taking that as of the nobility. Finding your purpose to make something worthwhile. And it was, to me, that is how he pulls it off. I like it, to be honest. I really do. That's one way of putting it into a spoonful of sugar that helps the medicine go down, y'all. So it is truly amazing. Here's another conversation. This is going to be this time with Mercedes, the voice actors who voice Mercedes is actually Dorothy Fawn. We're guessing she's from Castlevania Judgment, to be honest, and also from Fire Emblem Heroes, and not to mention from other games and on Japanese anime as well. Back in the 90s and the 2000s, she can actually voice Princess Peach. I mean, she definitely has that voice, that voice acting as Princess Peach, to be honest, and absolutely amazing. Yes, that absolutely works. And I would say, my gosh, I think she was playing on one role from Sword Art Online. Great voice actress, to be honest. So yeah, This is a conversation that was already recorded between Billy Kametz and Dorothy Fawn. You know, Billy Kametz voicing Ferdinand von Ayer and Dorothy Fawn voicing Mercedes, and this is Conversation C, y'all. So, let's say, how does this start off? Well, why don't you find this out yourself, as you can see right here.
Oh, Mercedes. This is unexpected.
Hello, Ferdinand. Did you come to pray?
I did. I quite like the atmosphere in the cathedral. It is holy and solemn. Perfectly suited to a noble, wouldn't you say?
I guess so.
You guess so? I think the matter is rather clear-cut. It is incumbent upon nobles that we pray regularly to the goddess. The piety of the nobles is a model for commoners. It teaches them the value of devotion.
Absolutely. I know exactly what you mean. I couldn't agree more.
These days, many nobles scarcely, if ever, pray. Look around. You and I are alone in this cathedral. It is really quite a shame.
Well, I don't really know that I count as a noble anyway.
I am afraid the nobility seems to be losing its way. When you pray, you're usually alone, right?
Yes, you're right. I usually am.
Precisely. Where are the others? Of course you cannot force people to worship. That is out of the question. Nobles must determine for themselves what they will believe and how they will pray. A religion foisted on you without your say is not much of a religion at all. Do you not agree?
Yes, I definitely agree. Definitely agree.
On the other hand, we cannot stand idly by while...
It was great talking to you, but I'm getting pretty sleepy. I'm gonna head off to bed. Good night.
All in all, one has to conclude. Mercedes, where did she go? I must have inspired her to go out and revive the faith. Perhaps I should do the same. I cannot let her show me up.
Oh, wow. That's one way to inspire. All of a sudden, she kind of wanted to, I'm not saying she jumped the conclusion. Most likely she just wanted to end the conversation quickly, y'all. So it was funny. Oh my. So this conversation took I'm not saying, well, it takes a bit of a dramatic turn. So this here is where you go from supporting conversation C to B. So this is part one, and it's like, all right, he's going to do this. But what happens if something tells me, is this something what's going to happen?
Come on, sell it to me!
Huh? What's going on here? Hey, stop that! Can't you see he's not interested?
Just talking business here, now move it along!
Oh, I just thought it looked a little... Actually, now I'm curious. What kind of business are you conducting? I've been told I have a keen eye for appraisal.
Just trying to buy a sword. I told him to name his price, but he won't give it up.
Any price? You must be able to afford anything your heart desires. But did you consider that he might have a good reason not to sell it? Maybe it's a family heirloom, or simply his favorite sword.
No one asked for your appraisal, now move it! Or are you looking for trouble?
That is quite enough! You would dare threaten a woman? I will not permit such ungentlemanly conduct.
Oh, hello, Ferdinand. Do you have an opinion on all this?
Behind me, milady. I will protect you.
Who are you? You looking for trouble too?
Keep your distance, gutless knave. I just cleaned my sword, and if I maim you, I will have to clean it again. Neither of us wants that. So I suggest you leave at once.
Ah, forget it. You're not worth my time.
Ah, thank you so much. You saved me there.
Well, that is taken care of. Are you hurt, Mercedes?
Hurt? No, I'm fine. We were only talking.
Ah, I am glad. I do not abide uncouth behavior. Stopping it is my duty as a noble.
Now that right there is an act of bravery when you step up to the plate of things. Just because, well, so that is why that was part 1. But what happens, what you see in part 2? Of course, once again, in a great, this is a living tribute to Billy Kametz.
You know, stepping in to prevent extortion, that was quite brave of you.
What? Oh, you're talking about that time in town. I wouldn't say I did anything brave, really. I just asked what was going on.
No need to be humble. Helping the weak is precisely what a virtuous noble does.
I don't think what I did is quite the same thing.
What do you mean by that?
The point I was trying to make is that some things in this world can't be bought or sold with money. I think I let myself get a little too worked up, though. It's just, when I saw it happening, it reminded me of my own past.
Your past? You were originally a daughter of House Bartels, a minor noble family, I heard. You abandoned your title, and now you live as a commoner. Is there more to the story? Pray tell.
Life was becoming difficult for us, so my mother and I fled from House Bartels. We found refuge in a small church in Fargus and lived there for a few years. A man appeared one day and said that he wanted to adopt me. It was obvious that he only cared about my bloodline and crest. The priest refused to let me go, but the man used his money to overwhelm the church. In the end, I had no choice but to leave with him. That soldier we saw? I guess he just reminded me of my adoptive father.
The man who exploited you so that he could join the nobility. Yes, I understand. But I must confess, that part of the story confuses me. There is nothing to gain from having a noble title. What's so funny?
I never thought I'd hear you question the value of nobility, Ferdinand.
Oh, well, that is not quite what I meant. Using someone else to obtain high status, with no effort and no accomplishment? Certainly you can obtain a title like that, but it hardly makes you a noble.
I completely agree.
By the same token, although you are legally a commoner, in your heart, you are a proud and virtuous noble. That is what I think, at any rate.
So he questions himself from what is going on with the nobility, whether for those who are not been born as a noble and those who have to have the heart of a noble. So I would say that conversation went pretty well from that and during this, from what he did from his own voice acting, which is pretty good, to be honest. I would say that is really good. And here's the final conclusion from supporting conversation A. And take it away, y'all, a living tribute to Billy Kametz.
Mercedes! Finally! There you are.
Ah, Ferdinand. Why are you so short of breath?
I just wanted to show you something.
What's this? Oh.
Yes, these are financial records that I recovered from your adoptive father. They prove that when he adopted you, large sums of money changed hands.
Where did you come across these?
I stealthily made my way into Ferdiad and looked around his estate. It was easy. That kind of thing is no trouble for an intrepid young noble such as myself.
That's amazing! I mean, amazingly irresponsible. I can't believe you put yourself at risk for my benefit. I really wish you wouldn't do such things.
No, I did it for my benefit. I could not help myself. With these documents, we can show everyone what a scoundrel your adoptive father really is. His noble aspirations will be crushed. The lord of the region will probably rescind his adoption contract. In other words, you will be free. Here, take them. Do with them what you will.
Do you really believe these will set me free?
Yes, of course. You will be free to decide your own path in life, and go wherever your heart leads you.
That does sound nice, but... I'm sorry, Ferdinand, but I think you should hold on to the documents.
Why? Is this not what you want?
I've lived so much of my life following everyone else's lead. So much so that I've come to terms with it. It's almost unavoidable at this point. But with these, I could regain my freedom and change all that.
You baffle me. Do you not wish to be free?
Of course I do. Let me try that again in a way you might understand. A true noble cuts their own path, seizing freedom from the clutches of tyranny.
I cannot argue with that. Fine then. I will hold on to the documents.
But I'm really very happy that you're so concerned with my well-being, Ferdinand. It means so much to me that you went through all that trouble on my behalf.
Of course, Mercedes. The smile on your face is well worth the effort.
Now, what you see right there is he did what he did on the unexpected. He went to find the documents in order to, to reveal the secrets that Mercedes' adoptive father is. And what he did played well is like, all right, so I'm going to be the hero. I'm going to sound like I'm going to find what I'm going to be looking for and bring this to her to see that this guy is nothing but a common scoundrel in what he did ever since. And and also he bought his way, and so he tried to make amends. Instead of not making amends, he tried to swindle his way through it, y'all. So that's how it happened, and he did it well. His voice acting from what he find, and it says do you want to be free? Isn't that what you wanted to? I mean, okay, then I'll hold on to the documents for you. When the time comes, I hope you'll be able to be free from all this, and even though you will continue to do what you love to do best. So that's what Billy Kametz does. It does like he's trying to be the hero by voicing Ferdinand von Aegir, and this is what makes it worthwhile. So I'm going to give you a little bit more of information. So here it is. So he voices as Yosuke from JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. Diamond is unbreakable. Let's see. I think his name is Metally, or in Baruto. Naruto from Next Generations. Osumatsu in Mr. Osumatsu. Naofumi in The Rising of the Shield Hero. Hakuno in Fate/Extra. Fubuki in Beyblade Burst Turbo. Arden in The Seven Deadly Sins. That's on Netflix if you want to know. So you find it on Netflix, y'all. So that's how it is. And that's what it's going to be, y'all. And it's not a secret, for that matter. So And also besides that, and and there's some others that you might know. So of course he did have a Twitter page and Instagram. So he stuck around very much. Yeah, that's very much indeed. Also, been having his autograph is really counted like that. So why not give him a bit of how would he work to talk by talking to Caspar in the first place, y'all? So why not? This is a two-parter with support conversation C and B. But first, I see you once again. A living tribute to Billy Kametz. And please, for those who disrespect this from his own voice acting for secretly hating by disliking this video, then you are no fan of Leo's Let's Plays Alliance, because I'm doing this as a living tribute to Billy Kametz, y'all. Shameful that you are called yourself a fan.
That settles that. And don't even think about brawling around here again.
Impressive, Caspar. Well done.
Hey, Ferdinand, did you see that fight?
I saw it from start to finish. Both parties were at fault, disturbing the peace. Then you stepped in and corrected their behavior. You are setting a good example. I am proud to call you my fellow noble.
Your fellow noble? I wasn't even thinking about nobility. That had nothing to do with it.
Excuse me, nothing? Resolving conflicts among common folk is a duty of the nobles. Is that not what you were doing?
I guess so. But it was more like instinct or something. I saw people acting out of line and I had to step in.
Ah, you were acting on impulse. You might be better served following moral convictions rather than instincts. Take me, for example. I always bear in mind that I am a noble and behave accordingly. The fortunate must help the unfortunate. That is my guiding principle.
I never have any idea what you're talking about. If someone's in trouble, you gotta help them out. Simple as that.
A difference of opinion, you might say. Very well then. Believe what you will. I will not expend energy trying to change your mind.
Maybe all of this noble stuff just isn't for me. Hey! Don't walk away when I'm talking to you!
I think you just did, Caspar. You acted upon instinct. So this conversation takes very much intriguing indeed, y'all. So, I mean, how do you say you try to step in and stop a fight or that's going to be out of line, or in an argument that's going out of line? So it was an interesting conversation with this. So support B is where it comes to the conclusion, y'all. So get ready. And his the voice acting on Billy Kametz, who voices Ferdinand von Aegir, and not to mention others that I might not know of, is also really interesting, so get a load of this.
Caspar, I have been waiting.
Ferdinand. Waiting for what?
I am going to give you a lesson on the righteous path of the noble.
Righteous path? What? You have a problem with my path now? You think you're more righteous than me?
That remains to be seen. I heard you stopped a robbery in town the other day. Some despicable thief who was robbing an elderly shopkeeper. Rumor has it you didn't wreak as much havoc as usual.
Hey now, I think you're underestimating me here. When the thief showed up, the old shopkeeper was so scared that he could barely stand. I didn't want the guy to pass out, so I had to stay calm while handling the situation. Rather than fighting, I gave my own money to the thief and told him to get out of there. Or else.
How, magnanimous of you.
The thief fell for it and left the shop. That's when I chased him down. I got my money back and gave that thief a good beating. He won't be back here anytime soon.
Ah, so you walloped the scoundrel. That does sound like you. I am finding this story more plausible. Nevertheless, I think...
Hold on. Now it's your turn. I heard a very interesting story about you recently.
My turn, eh? Let's hear this story then.
The way I heard it, you punched a foreign soldier right in the middle of town.
Stop. I know what you are getting at. But you have the wrong idea.
Let's hear your version then.
I had been browsing for weapons at a rundown stall. Suddenly, a man seized the stall's owner and started dragging him away. Someone with a less generous spirit might say the peddler had it coming. His wares were quite inferior after all. But without a moment's hesitation, I leapt to his aid and soundly defeated the goon.
Well done. Sounds exciting.
It was nothing, really. Anyway, the old shopkeeper let me in on the details. He said that he was a novice trader, tricked by a noble into selling low-quality goods. That ruse was about to come to light, so the noble had sent a mercenary to keep the shopkeeper silent.
So that's what really happened. I just heard you snapped and attacked some noble servant. I figured it was worth asking about.
Well, I won't deny it. I forgot my rank for a moment and let my instincts take over.
Is there something wrong with that? It sounds a little like something I would do.
And your, gentle approach to handling that robbery. That sounds like something I might do. You were not overcome by your impulses. You kept a cool head. For the most part.
I think we're starting to rub off on each other. Always looking for a way to defend justice and to lift each other up.
Partners in justice, eh? Well now, that I can agree to.
So they had something in common. I mean, one story led to another that leads to similarities. How do you stop a bad guy right in front of you? Well, it's simple. Try to make certain that things don't go horribly wrong, or otherwise, why is something that sells so cheap in a store that doesn't work too well? Well, it's simple. Somebody does not want to have some quality goods in the first place, y'all. So that makes sense of what is worth the risk, and that's just what it goes to show you. It's the little things that matter the most. I wish I had a conversation with, Ferdinand and Constance. That would make something worthy. But there will be a time I would love to do this entire Let's Play to do along with the DLC. So you can bet on that and others as well. This will take a while to get all the info out of one person's voice acting skills, and like I said, this is all I have from what I have so far, but it's not a total loss. So you can bet on that, and we are going to make a stop right here. And don't worry, and tell me, what do you guys think of hearing Billy Kametz's voice acting? Do you guys like it or hate it? But please don't hate this. Mash that like button and or share this video if guys like this voice acting, because it's not how he passed away, it's how he lived through it. He lived his life to its fullest of what he does best, of what it's not about being best. Well, it's about being better. That's what he does. It's about being better from what he did in his voice acting skills. So, as your friendly neighborhood superhero who likes to take chances, making mistakes, and getting messy, who likes peanut butter and chocolate and our breakfast for dinner, and celebrating our 5-year anniversary of this entire channel of Leo's Let's Plays Alliance, Godspeed, play safe, and shalom. Remember to fight with honor, love, truth, and justice, and I'll see you guys next time for the conclusion of all this, of Billy Kametz's voice acting of from what he left a legacy he made. So see you guys next time for more of Fire Emblem Three Houses, a living tribute to Billy Kametz. Y'all, take care now, and I'll see you at the conclusion of the living tribute videos here. Take care now.